On this episode of HitzBoxing,
we got to promote and get Bobby on, WGN morning news, maybe Channel 32, Channel 5 morning news, and he can talk about the experience. We have video, and so in addition to talking about who's fighting, he has photos and video of previous events, and you can see what's going on. So now you're creating somewhat of an excitement.
Cash my check.
Bobby Hitz grew up on the west side of Chicago. When he was an amateur, he won the Golden Gloves Championship. Then he turned pro and had a fight with George Foreman. After that, Bobby was a hometown celebrity in Chicago. I mean, this guy knew everybody. When Bobby Hitz left the ring, he became a champion boxing promoter. He even went on to train Donny Osmond to fight Danny Bonaducci. Now he's filling up arenas across the country. And working and training with boxing's biggest up-and-coming stars. Bobby Hitz is the unofficial mayor of Chicago. And this is HitzBoxing. We're pulling up to our meeting with John Moore. He's a publicist. Bobby's trying to get HitzBoxing more mainstream media exposure.
John Moore, I'm a public relations strategist. I've been working in the industry since 1990, background in entertainment, sports, and believe it or not, politics. I'm also an adjunct professor at Columbia College Chicago, where I actually teach sports marketing.
Some of the stuff I want to go over is how, not so much on the boxing end of what we do, but as a brand, HitzBoxing as a brand, how can you help us increase awareness, visibility, star power, all those things that I think we're lacking, because we have some good stuff going on and we need to take this to the next level. How do you think you could help us?
I think the biggest challenge is taking a sport that a lot of people know and reintroducing it. I think the other challenge is most people see boxing and they look at the big title fights that are pay-per-view, but they don't realize that there's many matches in their own backyard. So hopefully people will see that. Hopefully I can work with the group to let the fans know those fights that you see in Las Vegas, they happen right here in your own backyard.
What I want to try to do is sell the event as a happening. I want to sell the horseshoe, I want to sell the venue, I want to sell the sexiness of the event.
I think the biggest challenge that publicists have is just managing expectations and also delivering. I mean, you want to make sure that you deliver for your client. You also want to make sure that you have the most optimistic outlook and can do what you say you're going to do, but you also want to you can't promise them something that you can't do. When you're a public relations person, the best you can do is try. We got to promote and get Bobby on, WGN morning news, maybe Channel 32, Channel 5 morning news. And he can talk about the experience. We have video, and so in addition to talking about who's fighting, he has photos and video of previous events. You can see what's going on. So now you're creating somewhat of an excitement. And I think that what you want people that go to the fight or hear about the fight to think that if I don't go, I'm missing something, or they can't wait to see, what happened, who was there. So it's creating, the anticipation, the excitement, the package, and doing a lot of bragging. I think on Twitter you guys have 218 followers. On Facebook about 1,000, 1,500. So building up your social networks. Working. I don't know if, even with the stuff that you guys are doing on YouTube. The Actuality show is good for HitzBoxing entertainment, also for boxing in general, because what it does is it gives fans a behind-the-scenes view of what's going on, and growing that. And really creating excitement, but packaging it. Access Hollywood. One of the people that's in town right now, I'm not sure if you guys know, is Celeb TV. You ever heard of Celeb TV?
Charlie Buster.
Yeah.
I know Charlie.
Yeah, Intersport owns Celeb TV. But what Celeb TV does, Kelly Zink stands up there and she says, this is what's going on. And very rarely is she using live video. She's normally using a still, spotted walking down Rodeo Drive. But it's done here in Chicago.
There's a lot of other aspects that go on into putting an event together. So, I could do the event planning, but then, if I'm also responsible for taking care of all the contracts and all of that stuff, and then I'm responsible for Bobby's day-to-day operations, like, budgets and invoices and billing and all of that, I get a little overwhelmed. I mean, I can multitask, but I can't do everything at once.
it's like you're doing good, but you're not doing anything.
Right. Cash my check.
I feel pretty good. You know, opportunity to work with Bobby and the rest of the HitzBoxing Entertainment Group should be a great opportunity to, I won't say introduce, but maybe reintroduce boxing to a lot of people, increase attendance, and increase interest in the sport.
And you help with your groceries, sir? Help me carry those bags? Try to help you, brother. Go ahead. Bye, guys.
All right, so what are you going to go home and do now? I mean,
I'm going to go teach.
Yeah, but what's the next step?
Next step is I've got to go ahead and take a look at some of the goals and objectives that we laid out today and develop an overall marketing strategy that can be implemented immediately.
Coming up on HitzBoxing.
Like, what did you want to do? What was your interest in high school? Like, what was your, when you look in the yearbook and it says Renee.
There's one thing that Bob Lacurcio Auto Group customers have that others don't. It's the peace of mind that comes with complete confidence. Get a 2-year, 100,000-mile warranty on pre-driven vehicles and a 48-hour exchange policy on every vehicle we sell, new or used. So you can buy new Hyundais, Toyotas, Hondas, and used cars with complete confidence. It's the best way to buy, and it's offered exclusively at the Bob Lacurcio Auto Group. Find your nearest dealer at blauto.com.
You're going buying cars this way.
You want more HitzBoxing? Visit HitzBoxing.com and get caught up on all your favorite episodes and all the latest news and information. That's HitzBoxing.com. Like HitzBoxing on Facebook at Facebook.com/HitzBoxing. Like Bobby says,
Social media is now.
Facebook.com/HitzBoxing.
It was a beautiful day in Chicago, and after a great meeting, I decided to sit down with Renee. And a lot of fans of HitzBoxing wanted to ask her some questions, so I did.
Did you play sports in high school?
No.
Why?
I didn't. Well, actually, I swam. I swam probably up until high school. I did swim team and water ballet.
Really?
I did.
When you look in the yearbook and it says Renee...
Shopping? I really did not follow sports. I didn't play sports. I didn't have boyfriends who played sports.
Nothing.
You know what? I dated a DJ.
Okay, so then how did you get into this fight business?
I've known Bobby for a long time. He's an old family friend, and when I was a stay-at-home mom, I used to do like little odds and ends presentations. I'm real good on the computer, so I would do stuff for him that way. And then he had some changes within his staffing, and I was going through a divorce at the time, and I guess I needed some money, so I said, give me a little job and I'll help you out. I didn't know what I was signing up for.
And your main beef with Bobby is what? The main thing you wish you could change?
Oh, there's so many. The main thing is I wish he would listen a little better. I wish he would listen to me a little better, because anything that I ever tell him is solely for his benefit. And I think that sometimes it might take 6 or 7 other people of less importance to tell him the same thing until he finally gets it. And that could be a little frustrating.
But why do you think that is? I noticed that a lot.
No, I'm in a business that is it's the majority, 99.9%. It's a very chauvinistic business. It's mostly male. And I don't know, he's from 1932, so he's got a very backwards mentality on how smart women can be. I don't know. I don't know if that's it. I don't, I'm just being facetious, but I really wish he would listen when I tell him something and take it on the first note.
How about the one when you guys are in the car talking and you go to answer a question and he always talks over you? Does that bother you?
Well, Bobby can be a little overbearing. I think I get along good with him and everybody else in this group and in this business because I tend to be very passive. Not passive where I can be pushed over, but I kind of generally just accept everybody and their flaws and just learn to work with each person individually depending on what their personality and their characteristics are like. And I usually I figure out how to you know, work with them. I mean, he could be a little overbearing. He's a really heavy, he's got a big personality, so you just either love him or hate him, so.
250,000 people watching the show. You really don't know everyone that's watching the show. I mean, is that weird to you? Like, I mean,
I don't think I put much thought into that yet. I mean, thanks for putting that in my head now. You know, I think it really doesn't bother me. I guess it really doesn't.
any family members, friends come up and say, hey, you know, I saw you on that show? And
A couple people have made some interesting comments. But they've all been pretty positive. You know, my girlfriends like it. They get a kick out of Bobby. A lot of people get a kick out of Bobby, so... Frank, wait, you gotta pause this. There's a piece of hair on my...
Coming up on HitzBoxing.
There's guys making offers to you on the internet. How does that feel?
What kind of offers?
Table one. They traveled all this way. Make it worth their while.
One luxury dealer in Naperville offers you an extraordinary experience. Announcing the newly renovated Mercedes-Benz of Naperville, where driving the world's finest luxury cars is more affordable. Lease a new Mercedes-Benz C-Class for $349 a month. Or get a remarkable low 1.9% financing on a new Mercedes-Benz for a limited time only. Visit mbofnaperville.com.
There's more HitzBoxing on the way, and another round starts right now.
You're starting to get fan mail. There's guys making offers to you on the internet. How does that feel?
What kind of offers? What do you mean?
Tell her, Renee, I'll give her a job.
Oh, you know, I get offers. I think.
Well, what about the guys that are making you offers like, hey, is she dating anybody?
Oh, Frank, I think that's all. Don't you think that's just all silly?
No.
No?
No.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll find my next husband on YouTube.
Well, don't say that, because now they're really starting telling speaky. Okay, and then some of the questions that people ask, like, is that really true? I mean, do you guys really talk like that?
It's probably shocking to some of the real world, or maybe they do think it's scripted, but it's not. I mean, these are true. These are conversations that I have with Bobby on a regular basis. You know, just off the wall. It'll be, you know, you say the smallest thing, and then it'll go into some big tangent. It'll be a 2-hour argument, you know. 2 hours later, nothing's resolved, and usually the women in the group are frustrated, and then at the end of the day, you just have to laugh, because what else can you do?
Next time on HitzBoxing.
And he got in the ring with George Foreman. Bobby was, I wouldn't say he was knocked out, but I think it was a good stoppage, really.
Oh,
Bobby,
come on, how can you say that?
No, I'll tell you why.
I got up, I was up, I was fine.
But what I'm trying to say is,
HitzBoxing is produced by BobbyWood Productions.